Welcome to the Sharpe Way show. So happy to have you with me this evening. A bit past 7 p.m. on the East Coast. I'm a little bit late. That's true. I have been rushing. I was away for many, many days, and now I have returned, which is great. I have returned, but I'm in the wrong place. So hold on one second. I will get into the Now I'm in a bunker. So we're good. I'm back in the bunker. I had to make sure I was in a bunker. Wrong place. Sorry. Rushing to get this going on, but I'm happy to be here. I've been gone for several days. I was at the Independent National Convention in Denver for 3 days. Yeah, 3 days or so. Had a bunch of presentations I do. Met a couple of cool people. All kind of good stuff. Happy to be there. It was a lot of fun. So I was glad to be there. But I am back, and I'll have a show today and also tomorrow. Tomorrow I'll do a full AMA. So anybody who wants to ask me questions about that, happy to have those questions if answered if we want to. But tonight, I should say, I wanted to talk about something that a lot of people talk about, obviously. I'm maybe a day or two late. I'm sorry, I was away. But I do think it's important to talk about this for many, many reasons. One of those reasons is the movie Training Day. Yes, I know I bring up weird things. I do. That's kind of what I do. But if you remember, Training Day was a movie from, I think, 2000, 2001, 2 in that area. Early 2000s. Denzel Washington and Ethan Hawke in that movie. And in that movie, Denzel Washington is like the senior cop in the guy who, can get you in where you need to go. He runs the drug confiscation group and all that kind of stuff. And he kind of runs everything. He actually runs the good guys and the bad guys. He runs everything, right? He thinks he's the top of the guy, untouchable. That's who he is. Ethan Hawke comes in thinking, okay, I'm going to be this great cop, right? I'm going to be this great guy. I'm going to make change. I'm going to fix things. He comes in and realizes how corrupt it is and basically gets trapped trying to be good and to make his boss happy when his boss is horribly corrupt. So as he comes in and says, hey, boss, I want to help out. I'm not going to give the whole thing away, but you may want to watch this. Good movie. I'll give the general idea. He basically wants to make his boss happy, who's Denzel Washington. And Denzel says, great, do these bad things. And he's like, we can't do these bad things. It's bad. We can't do them. And he goes, no. We're special because we have to be with the bad guys. So you have to do these bad things. And everyone knows, and it's totally fine. You can just do them. If you don't, look, I don't know if I can, you ready to do this? This is the serious stuff. Or you want to make a difference. Got to go do the bad things. So Ethan Hawke's character does the bad things. And when he does bad things, now the guy goes, well, now I own you. Because not even the bad things. And so you don't do what I tell you now. I'm going to tell the police force, you've done the bad things. They're not going to believe you. They're going to believe me because I'm a senior guy. You're done for. Guy's trapped. Guy was trying to do the right thing, trying to be a good guy in his own eyes. What happens? Completely screwed. Completely screwed. Am I saying that's Diddy? Diddy's not the Ethan Hawke character, if anything, in this scenario. Diddy's the Denzel Washington character, right? You are someone who wants to do well in the music industry. You want to go out and do cool things. You want to make things happen in the music industry. Diddy takes a liking to you. Hey, come on in, hang out with me. I'm P-Diddy. I'm popular. Without me, there's no Biggie Smalls. There's no Notorious B.I.G. without me because I'm the cool guy. And you go, oh my God, I'm so lucky. I'm hanging out with Diddy. I'm going to be a superstar. He goes, great, just do this bad thing. And you go, but I don't want to do the bad thing. He goes, do the bad thing. Oh, you don't want to do all the things you got to do to be good in this industry and to be the star you want to be. And then you go do the bad thing. And he goes, now I got you. That connected to me a lot in this world, right? It did a lot. Now you might go, well, Larry, isn't that like, Epstein or someone? Oh, now I'm getting demonetized. The E guy or something else, right? Isn't it like him, right? Isn't it him, right? The guy who was found unalive, that guy. Maybe, yes, but the E guy He was much more generic, rich politics. I feel like this is special because this is specifically a music industry. It's almost like, and maybe I'm off on this. You tell me if I'm off on this. It's almost like it's a Me Too for the music industry, right? Like that's the thing. And that I think is what makes this bigger and bigger and bigger. And I could see people who are bad, like bad people doing bad things, moving towards this happily. But I also see Ethan Hawke characters, people who would believe this is the way to become successful. This is the way to make a star they look up to, like Diddy, happy, and then finding themselves completely screwed. And I think you're going to find a lot of that as this comes out, as this more and more comes out and becomes exposed. You're going to find both of those, I think, as we move forward. Lunatic Libertarian, thank you for $50, brother. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. The super chat. Diddy is being exposed, yes, but not the E guy or the list. Very good point. That's part of my point, Lunatic. I think you and I are in the same page here. This is for the music industry. If we beat them up, the world's not going to end. It's okay. The power of the music people they don't have real power, right? They're used as stooges, or they're used as sometimes even surrogates for the wealthy, right? The music guy shows up at the party for the inauguration. He's not the powerful person himself. Now, sadly, and I'll give you a little bit about the movie. In the end of the movie, the Denzel Washington character, well, it doesn't end well for him. That character believes he's untouchable. As you remember the movie, The Untouchables, right? People who thought they owned everything, could never be stopped. Mr. E also thought he was untouchable. Yes, I would say Diddy also thinks, or maybe still thinks, he's untouchable. So I think that's the critical piece. And once you think you're untouchable, you are so touchable. That's the thing. What will keep you untouchable is knowing you are not untouchable. The second you actually think you're untouchable, you are totally touchable. So always being afraid, thinking you are touchable will make you untouchable. But once you think, it can't touch, you know who I am? Once you're that guy, you're done. I think Diddy became that guy. I'm sure Epstein became that guy. I mean, they covered up his stuff for how long? Keep saying it. The E guy, maybe like 3 times in an hour, I don't get canceled. Maybe, I don't know. But anyway, the E guy, yes. So he goes on to say, bottom line is don't idol worship. You are asking a lot, right? Look, brother, I agree with you. You ask a lot of people. You ask people to not be what so many people are. And I think you could get there, right? I'm not saying we can't get there, but man, we are so much into idol worship. We have to have more people. And I'll give you a good example that I'm saying I agree with you. When I run for office, I've run twice before. And each time that I run, I get a lot of people who want to help, which is great. Love when they help. It's amazing. Love when they help. But when they come to help, sometimes I get a bunch of people who just, because they're so happy, they just want to make me happy, right? So all of them is go, yes, Larry, whatever you say. Yes, Larry, whatever you say. That's not good for me. I mean, don't get me wrong. It feels good, right? I love when someone does that. Of course I feel good. Larry, you're great. You're the best. Of course it feels good. All right, I'm still human. I enjoy it. But it's not good for the campaign. The campaign, the people will say, yes, Larry, you're right on this. And also, Larry, you may be wrong on this. Larry, I'm sure you're wrong on this. Or, hey, Larry, there's another idea here. And when people start to go to, I just want to keep my idol happy because I like him and I don't want him to quit, all of a sudden people start doing whatever. It's true. It's not helpful. The problem, though, is the problem is twofold, right? If you're the idol, lunatic, and I keep making you feel good, it feels good, right? Everyone's telling you how smart you are and how good you are and all that stuff. You don't want to stop. You got dopamines flying all over the place. You're like, maybe I am a god the whole time. Oh my God, I am. You start thinking that, right? And everyone else sees you happy and they want you to succeed. So now they feel happy. So it's symbiotic, if that makes any sense. I feel good because I want you to go do the thing, whatever you're running for president or something, and I want you to become the president. So I'm telling you nothing but good stuff. You're feeling great about it. You keep going. I'm happy. You're happy. Dopamine flying. Everybody's good until it all comes crashing down. So you're right. And it's really hard. I guess what I'm saying. She says, these people are disgusting. Dollars give them power, or our worship of money does. Also true. Root of all evil. No, don't go there. Money's a tool. Money's a tool, right? It's like saying hammers are the root of evil because you can hit someone over the head with a hammer. It's a tool. That's all. Stop participating in these systems will allow true freedom and liberty. Yes, look, money is at the root of all evil. Perhaps worshiping it is, maybe, right? So I want to be clear with that. Money itself is a tool, but worshiping it is bad. There's no doubt, right? And don't get me wrong, I'm not against money. I like money, but you shouldn't worship it. It's true. You're totally correct. So, all right, thank you for that, by the way. So let me kind of go down a couple more if I could. All right, the piece I brought was that whole idea of people being pressured. Now, why do I say that? Because the issue that is going to pop up here, it was the same issue, believe it or not, when it came to Cosby. Larry, how did it match? Here's how. One of Cosby's defenses, when they said, but these women had drugs in their system. And he's like, yes, they did. He didn't deny that. He's like, they did. So you drugged them. His argument was, no, people often take drugs when they're hanging out with their friends or having intimate relations or doing that stuff. They often do that. That's a common thing, whether the drug is alcohol, whether it's cocaine, whatever it is, they do it. This was not a drug. They were willingly taking it. They wanted to have a better experience when they were hanging out at my house or whatever. That was his argument. I'm not saying it's true. I'm telling you that was his argument. Now, going to a jury, he only gets a certain amount of information. That can be challenging. And the judges decide what goes in and what doesn't come in, right? So if a jury only hears this part of the story and it's like, no, they wanted to take drugs. They were taking drugs and having fun at a party. And yeah, they had sex or whatever they did, right? But that was consensual. That was consensual. That was his argument. It is will be the same. He will say, oh, no. Yeah, they did the things, but I didn't force them. They wanted to. I invited them to the party and they came. I asked them and they showed up. I said, here's a bad thing to do. And they went, okay. That will be his argument. How do I know that? Because a lot of the other charges are RICO charges. RICO charges are things like conspiracy, which is it really a crime? I guess yes, but kinda. So yeah, kinda yes. So that's why they're adding those things to ensure that they can get him on other things because he's going to fight consent. And it's hard if anyone's done this. Some of you know that I will do some consulting in criminal defense. It's challenging to get that. But here's the advantage they have over this. And that is they're going to use evidence that is in the public domain. Remember those pictures, those videos of him beating up that woman? Casey's her name. Is that right? I'm sure someone knows. I think beating her up. They're going to use that. See, he's a bad guy. It wasn't consensual. She was scared for her life. They're going to say that. So there will be a back and forth. It's not an open and shut case. And they will need other witnesses to make this thing work. It's not that easy. So, yes. Lunatic goes on, $5. Thank you so much again, my friend. Marcus Aurelius, Stoic philosophy. Accountability is off the table these days. This is one of the biggest things I talk about. You are 100% right. More people have to take accountability. And this is what I always talk, because your next thing you bring up is the idea of blame, right? The idea of blame. And I tell people, don't worry about blame because people just hate blame. I say worry about responsibility. That's the issue. Worry about responsibility. It doesn't matter whose fault it is. You're here now. It's your life. You're responsible. But my mom, but my dad, but society. Maybe true. I don't know your situation. Maybe your mom was terrible. Maybe your dad was terrible. Maybe society screwed you over. Maybe, and maybe not. I don't know. But to be forward, at one point, it no longer matters. Maybe your mom was terrible to you, or your dad was gone or bad, whatever. Maybe it's true. Okay, now you're 30. You keep blaming mom and dad. Doesn't matter. Someone has to be responsible for you to become better at your life. That person is only one person. You or no one is. To Lunatic, your exact point. Right? At one point, it is your responsibility, regardless of what's happening in your life. Even if society screwed you. Some people get screwed by society. It does happen, of course. Okay. You have to fix it, though. At one point, it's your responsibility. Doesn't mean you do it all by yourself. Does not mean that. You can get help, friends, community, family, whatever, loans, money, whatever. Help from doctors. I'm not saying you should not get help if you need it. Lots of us need help. I'm saying whose responsibility? It must be yours at one point. He is correct. And we don't do that. We go, I can't do it. Why? Because reasons. And now I have blame, so now I'm okay. And today's society accepts that. The problem is now the person is never helped. So they just stay there. He goes on to say, people should look in the mirror when pointing fingers of blame. Well, you have heard me say this many times, and I will keep saying it. I can't point my finger at you until I point it at me first. And I love pointing it at you. I do. Therefore, I point a lot at myself because I really want to point at you. So that's what I do. I completely agree with you. So thank you for the $5. You'll appreciate it. So I wonder if that consent piece, because that it's hard to prove consent or non-consent unless it's obvious. Like, I saw you put the thing in the thing in the drink, or I saw you do the thing, or someone openly says no, or the case that I brought up, literally he beat the woman up and dragged her back to the room. Clearly she was not consenting to that. So yes, but he will argue that maybe she did. Oh no, it was aggressive sex play and we had a safe word. He'll play that game too. I don't know, she was in on it, right? He'll do that. I don't think a jury is going to buy that one. But to be forward, if you're on his team, you can do that too. Yes, you're going to say that also. So yes. All righty. With that piece in mind, I want to go down one more if I could. All right. The part about him getting bail. Bail reform is crazy here, but here's the thing I want to bring up here. He didn't get bail. You might go, well, that's good, Larry, isn't it? I'm not sure. And let me tell you why I'm not sure. Let me try to do both sides of this. Is he a flight risk? Right? Is he a flight risk? Maybe. And why do I say maybe? Because if he thought he was in trouble, his team was already negotiating with the cops. They were negotiating. He moved to New York voluntarily to make sure he was there for when he's arrested. They were negotiating how to surrender. That was already happening. Well, and for those of you who don't know, if you're not rich, they just knock your door in, grab you in the middle of the night, treat you like a common criminal, and throw you in jail. If you're wealthy, one of two things happens. If they think they can get a really cool press hit, sometimes they would just knock your door anyway because it's a press hit. Usually it's a political hit, like a guy like Roger Stone, like that. Otherwise, they don't arrest you. They don't do that. They call up your lawyer and say, hey, Sarah, your client, Mike, we got a warrant for his arrest. We don't want to knock down Mike's door. And Sarah, you're his lawyer. Can we negotiate him surrendering himself? I'm not joking. That's how it actually happens. And Sarah goes, yeah, sure. Look, Mike's a busy guy with his businesses and such. He could probably show up. How's Monday around 9? Is that good? Yeah, Sarah, thanks. If you want, we're going to keep him for at least a day, maybe more. That's what actually happens. Back and forth. Can you bring this? Can you bring that? Blah, blah, blah. Bring his passport. We're probably asking for bail. It's a back and forth conversation if you're wealthy. That's how you know what. Have you noticed they surrender and then like 6 hours they're out because they had a conversation. You're poor, you don't get that. You're rich, you get that. That's true. They were trying that with him. That was already happening because P-Diddy is a gazillionaire. They were having that conversation. Why didn't he flee? Could have fled. Could have left. Packed up and gone to Fiji. Whatever. I don't know. He's got the money. Just do it. Pack up and leave. Go. Good luck. Go to some country that won't. Go to Russia like Snowden did. He got money. Go to Russia. Hang out in Russia. They love him there. Do some concerts. They're great. Just go. Didn't. So I'm not sure if he's a flight risk. Not just that. He showed up, and this is true, and he said, I'll give you $50 million in bail, money, put it up there, and all the passports for me and my family. He offered those. And he said, I'll wear a tracker, a GPS tracker on his ankle. They did not want to go to jail. He's like, 50 million, all my passports, tracker on my ankle. And everyone thought, oh, the judge will say, fine. Judge said, no, keep him in jail. Then you might go, okay, that's great, good. W guy got bail. The other Stein, the actor one, not the actor one, the movie guy, I'll say it, Weinstein. Hopefully I don't get canceled for that. But anyway, he got bail. Not Diddy. Now, why would here's what I think. I think they thought Diddy would leave. And when he got out, he would try. They believe this. I'm not saying he would do it. This is all alleged. I'm saying what I think the judge believed. That when Diddy would get out, he would affect the witnesses. that he would he would like try to blackmail them, convince them not, that he would do that kind of thing through his brother. And that's obviously against the law. You can't do that legally. That would be you'd be breaking the law. That's a crime, right? But he might have tried anyway, right? If I'm going to go away the rest of my life and I'm Diddy, maybe you try that. I think that's what they thought, and that's why he didn't get bail. That's my guess. Otherwise, he probably should have got a bail. I mean, if he was really a flight risk, he would have left, right? So that's the piece I want to bring up also. And the consent, I think I brought the consent piece up. He was untouchable, brought that up. Last piece I'll bring up, which is good or bad, the RICO stuff. I hate RICO stuff. I hate it. It's all just conspiracies and ways to get more people to lie and stuff like that. I can't stand it. I hate it. Now, I get why they had it. At one point, you had trouble getting people to commit. You had trouble to finding evidence. Now, everything's being recorded. Everything. They have the videotapes. The feds have already said so. They've got the videotapes. They have them already. They didn't have the video before. You couldn't. Back in the 20s when they were fighting, I don't know, the gangsters in Chicago, you didn't have that. Now you do. I think RICO should go away. You did the bad thing or you didn't. What RICO does is it makes racketeering a crime in itself. So everybody close to it becomes guilty. Now, when everybody becomes guilty, you can put anybody away. What do I mean by that? All right. Let's say there's 4 of us who are friends. It's me, it's Joel, it's Mike. Me, Joel, Mike, and Sarah are all buddies. And they think Mike's crooked because Mike's probably crooked. They think Mike's crooked. So they say, Mike's crooked. We want to put him away, but they don't have any evidence on him. So they're going to charge him with RICO. RICO says everybody around him's guilty. So they go, Sarah, you going to jail. What? You going to jail? Yes. Why? Because you're part of the ring of conspiracy with Mike. What? I didn't do anything. Joe, you going to jail too? Why? Sarah, it's all the conspiracy. What are you on about? All of a sudden, well, look, Sarah, I won't put you in jail. I promise. If you can give me all the goods on Mike. Now, Sarah has no goods on Mike because Mike's not actually a bad guy. But if she has the goods, then she gets away. Well, she didn't do anything. She has done nothing. But being connected because of conspiracy and RICO, she can go to jail. She knows this. Her lawyer tells us. She goes, okay, yeah, I saw Mikey kill the guy. Who was the guy? Bobby. Yeah, he killed Bobby. Yeah, he did. How did he kill? With a gun. Whatever. She said she went to jail. Now she says that. Now I say I'm not turning on Mike. I'm not turning him. Well, then Sarah, they get Sarah said I did it too. So now I'm in trouble. I got RICO plus now I got Sarah. So now I'm gonna give up Joel. Others are gonna put me in jail, and everyone's giving everybody up. That's why you have all these people giving everybody up. If you notice on their indictment, there's like one victim. What's everybody else? Someone who dealt to put someone else in jail. It's tougher, is all I'm saying. I can't stand RICO. If he did the bad thing, he should just pay for the bad thing. That is why I talk about when it comes to fairness in our prison system, in our justice system. Go to jail or be punished for what you did. Not to keep somebody's happy because somebody's happy, not so you'll plead quickly so the system doesn't have to worry about you. It's the wrong reason. That's the issue. So yes. All right, let me grab super chats again. Lunatic again, thank you, my friend, the $5. Thank you so much. It's terrible to me, in my humble opinion, that people know more about entertainers and celebrities than their own children. They also have self-defeating tendencies. Two pieces to that. Yes. Celebrity, it's nice to know entertainers and celebrities. It's nice, it's fun, it's gossipy, it's fun. It is nice. But you're right. They move to a point where they know a lot. And there's a good and a bad to this, right? And I talk about this from an internet, like what I do here. If you are a niche micro influencer, like about a celebrity, like you're the number one person who's all about Diddy or something, you can get a YouTube channel and make a living just talking about him or what any other celebrity. I'm bringing him up obviously because of this. You could. The problem is if he gets into deep trouble and goes away, your channel might also go away. But yes, but you're right. But we can do that. There's probably not as many about people who are like doing other good things. So it's a good point. Then he goes on to say they have self-defeating tendencies. Here's the issue. 2 points. Young, and then no matter what. I'm a first touch young. Someone told me years ago, I forgot who it was. Someone told me years ago that it's always better to have fame and success later in life. Always have fame and success later in life. And guys like, why, right? Well, if you have it later in life, you respect it. You'll probably keep it. you've learned enough, you've had your butt kicked enough that now it's good, right? If you get it in your 40s, 50s, 60s, you've been through enough to where now when you get it, you'll keep it. You get it in your teens and 20s, it's always been there. You don't respect it. And then what's next? What's next? Right? How do you get a peak? There's an old, we're going to Star Trek, guys. I'm sorry, we're going to Star Trek. There's an old Star Trek from the original series. And this is the origins, and it talked about this back in the 60s, AI. Some of you know already what I'm talking about. It was the M5. The M5 was made by, what was the professor? I forgot the guy's name. Someone remember. Anyway, the professor, and what was important about this, it was the 60s, and the actor who was the professor who did this was black. That was a big deal in the 60s. They showed up a savvy, smart professor, and he was black. Star Trek was breaking all the barriers back in 1967, breaking them all. So, and he created the M5, which was an AI that could control the ship, right? So you didn't need a captain anymore. You just needed, that. And the problem was it was failing. The AI wasn't working. Daystrom was the guy's name. Daystrom, thank you. Wow, came to me. Daystrom. Daystrom was the professor's name. So Daystrom it makes this, and it's failing. It's not working. And he can't handle it. He's like, what's going on? I don't get it. And he's talking to it, and he's like broken. And the guy's like, this guy's a genius. What's going on here? Well, he became a genius, and he made some kind of, I forgot what he created some great thing, whatever it was, some great breakthrough when he was like 20. And now the actor is like in his 40s or 50s now. So like he's been chasing victory again for years, and it's driving him crazy. It's almost like he's Ahab, right? And trying to chase the white whale, right? He's trying to chase it. So I think when someone becomes great younger, that's when they start having that self-defeating tendencies. Generally speaking, the people who achieve it older tend to not have that. Usually if they get it older, they have self-defeating. But it's the second piece. I think it was Jay-Z who said this. Jay-Z was talking to Bill Maher. I'm sometimes when I hear things, I don't remember exactly where I got it from, but he said Bill Maher was teasing him and saying, you're on stage saying how great you are, and people are clapping at you like they're not great. They're paying you, right? They're the reason why you're great. They're giving their money to you. And Jay-Z was like, yeah, because they see themselves as on my team, and they're living through me as I'm great. They're great. That's how they see it. And he's like, I think second piece, lunatic, that people are looking at that and saying, well, if I support the celebrity and I watch them, then I'm like them. And if they're winning, I'm winning too. It's like that vicarious lifestyle. The problem is, and I'm sure you know this already, is eventually they realize, oh, wait, it's vicarious. That guy doesn't actually like me. Yeah. It's one of the reasons why I do this stuff live, because I want you to know that I'm actually interacting with you, right? I'm actually interacting with you. That's one of the reasons why I do it. So it's not like, oh, I watched the guy's video and therefore he's my buddy. Well, no, you watch the guy's video, you respond to me, and we have an actual conversation, and we know each other. And I go out, people see me, by the way. I was at the INC, as I mentioned, and I'll cover that through some of the comments. Being at the INC, the people who met me, who are like, oh, Larry, I watch your show. How you doing? Have a sit down, have a conversation. Now we know each other. We see each other back and forth. When I go to speak at places, you can come see me if you want to. And we'll talk, and it'd be great. And it's all the time. Some people that are on here, I've seen more than once, right? Different events across the state, across the country, all the time. So, yes. All righty. Thank you for the $5, Blue Black Boss. He says, I haven't been here long, but this show is the most engaging to everyone else's. Bell, big red button, big thumbs up, hit them with the might of Zeus. Oh, thank you. Yes, click that bell. He's right, with the might of Zeus. Absolutely. And the button that is the button that is like, please do that. It does matter so much. And Matt has become a member. Thank you for becoming a member, Matt. That's amazing. Every little bit counts. I do appreciate it tremendously. Guys, click that like button if you could. If you're watching on Twitter or if you're watching on Facebook, this gets shown to 8 different platforms. Please, if you would, share this out, retweet it, whatever the thing is, share it, do that. If you're watching on YouTube, you can always subscribe if you want to. Click the notification button. I just checked my numbers like 2 weeks ago, a week ago maybe, and less than 20% of people who watch this are subscribed. That's your fault. Subscribe. Do that, please. If you want to super chat me, as you've seen, please super chat me, or you can just support the channel in general. $29 per month. Click that join. That is awesome. All of those are great for me. I appreciate that, so I can do more of this and also spend more time getting out there and meeting people to the best of my ability. I'm trying to do that to the best of my ability. All righty, let me keep going down some of the actual comments if I could. Mike Voss is watching. How are you, sir? By the way, I will be is tomorrow? Yes, tomorrow. I will be on Mike's show tomorrow. Old Man Voss, Old Man VASS Voss. I will be on his show tomorrow, 3 p.m., talking about sci-fi villains. Yes. So if you like sci-fi villains, even if you don't, if you're just like me or Mike, either one of us, show up tomorrow, 3 p.m. on his YouTube channel, Old Man Voss. Please do that. Check that out. All right. He says, really? This sideshow farce? Yes, I have little or no respect for most entertainers, and half of that for rap adjacent ones. Just a way to keep black voters off the Harris failures. Well, let me, could they use this, Mike? All right. Maybe I'm being a little bit conspiracy here. I do it sometimes. Maybe a little conspiracy here. Could they then take this and then find links to whomever they want to destroy? If it's music, probably trying to destroy Trump. Probably, right? I don't know. A lot of young black men like, I'm not sure. My gut says try to destroy Trump, but it could be against Harris too, in theory. Or they could use either and try to find some kind of connection and go, see, Trump is bad because his supporter or his friend or his whatever was part of what they called the freak-offs. If you didn't know that, the parties that were having were called freak-offs. Was part of the freak-offs, see Trump bad. You'll find that right now in North Carolina, right? That guy in North Carolina, I forgot his name now. I'm sure you know his name, Mike. The guy in North Carolina who's running for governor now, Trump's bad guy now because this guy. So I think both of those. I think it could be either. So anyway, thanks for that comment. I do appreciate it. All righty. Sarah, thank you. Thank you for being a member, Sarah. Hi, Mike. I thought Larry was at a conference last convention, thingamajig. I was. And here he wants to talk celebrity dirt. Yes, I will talk about whatever I think is important in this is a politics / culture show in general. You will see me bring up other things. I brought up music before last week. I'm going to be talking about, believe it or not, next week, next Tuesday, I'm going to have 2 former sex workers on talking about the no tax for tips, how it affects them and other service workers. So that'll be interesting too, culture, but yes. So I will talk celebrity dirt when it affects things like, as I mentioned, the idea of bail reform, the idea of spending money to get what you want, how judges think about things. Yes. And I was at that conference and it was pretty good. I will have it wasn't streamed live, but a bunch of the stuff was actually recorded. So next week I will put out some content from that place. I was on two separate, I was on 2 separate panels. So I will discuss that too. Thank you. All righty. Joel says, I'm getting notifications again. They will stop for a while. Yeah, after this one, it's gone again. It's going away again. I know it is. It just is. It's going away again. There's no doubt. They constantly do this. Alexa, thank you for being a member. Welcome back. I am back. I will keep going. I'm trying to keep this thing going to the best of my ability. Yes. The AC. Oh, talking to Sarah, not me. Okay, well, he's actually driving through the mountains for a minute. I like that. I'm glad you're able to listen while you're driving through the mountains. I hope you will enjoy. That is good. He also goes on to say it's a good movie. I did enjoy the movie tremendously. For those of you who haven't seen Training Day, if you've got some time, right, to watch a movie, it's worth the watch. If you haven't watched it already, it's worth a watch. Denzel Washington is great. Ethan Hawke is great. It's a good movie. It's worth it. Is adult, right? I mean, don't put the kiddies in there. It's an adult movie, but it is worth watching if you've got some time on a weekend, you want to do something, kick back. It's a good choice. It's a good choice to watch. Yes. So, all righty. Pete says, did Sean Combs handle Biggie Smalls? I don't think so, Pete, but people have said that forever. That's been a thing forever. Like for years, people have thought that. I don't think so. And the reason why I don't think so is Biggie Smalls was a cash cow for him. He was a cash cow. Diddy still did great, don't get me wrong. But I don't know if Diddy knew that he could still do as great without him at the time. I don't know if he knew that. My gut says he didn't know that he could be as powerful without him. And I don't think he would have done it. I have no evidence to that, my friend. You asked my opinion. That's my opinion. That's how it feels to me. I have no evidence, so I could be completely wrong. So I'm just giving you the answer that you asked. So I'm doing it. Blue Black Boss says 1,000 bottles of baby oil. I add baby oil and I'll use the word probably okay. Lubricant. Yes. Yes. People, what? Yeah. Oh, I thought it was 100 though. Was it 1,000? I thought it was 100. Whatever. Still a lot. 100,000. I don't care. Wow. Wow. You doing a lot of friction is all I'm saying. You're doing a lot of friction with that. Supposedly, he would bring in, from what the indictment says, he would bring in male sex workers and then have you engage with them, whether you were a male or not. Didn't matter. Female, male, you'd engage with them. And then he recorded you. So again, allegedly. And then now I got the goods on you. And you do what I say. That's what they say. Josh says, hand in the entertainment industry. And like Cat Williams said, they're all going to. You know what? Thank you for bringing it up, Josh. When Cat Williams, for those who haven't seen it, if any of you care about, if this kind of gossip in this industry is something you're interested in, if you enjoy listening to it, Cat Williams has some serious interviews where Josh is correct. He walks down all of this, like from years ago, not like yesterday. Like you go back a couple years and Cat Williams saying, this guy does this and bad and boob and boob and boob. And he's like, people are like, come on, that can't be true. People that were saying Cat Williams is nuts, can't be true, no way. Now we're going, Me and Josh are like, think that guy got something going on. Absolutely. Yes. 100%. Yes. Josh goes on to say, the Diddy thing is real and there are many more in the industry that's involved in the same kinds of things. Found out that when I was dating one of Howard Stern's cousins, learned a lot. Oh, man. Okay. There's some stuff going on there. I guess, Josh, there's more coming out. Someone told me there's money coming out. Yeah. Pinkerbell, thank you for being a member. I appreciate that. Jeffrey EpiPen. Thank EpiPen. Pinkerbell. You have given me some gold these past months. Thank you. That's another one. Yes. AC says Diddy. Nice. Very nice. Yes, that is very good. Okay. EpiPen. Diddy. Yes, that's what I'm doing. Very good. I like that. Dave says, at one time without Harvey Weinstein, actresses didn't get into the movie industry. Now Weinstein faces additional charges. Yeah, right. So the reason why I bring that up is similar, obviously, right? Weinstein's much more in the movie and TV industry, and obviously Diddy is more in the music industry, obviously. But I think the concepts are the same, right? But the question, though, does go back. Is there an argument? And this is a question. Is there an argument to say, look, you wanted to be in the industry. You didn't have to do it, but you did. Is that an argument? Even though, if I go back to the training day piece, right? Is it a real argument? I mean, think about it. If you are a cop, in this movie he was, right? And you look up to this other cop who's been doing this great stuff, having massive busts, getting all the awards and the medals, and he runs the department, right? This guy's a hero to you. And he's doing all the great stuff. And you don't know any better. You don't know he's bad. You assume he's a great cop like, you want to be. That's your assumption. You walk in, he goes, do a bad thing. You would think to yourself, this is a great cop and a hero. He would never steer me wrong. Of course not. And I want to do well. And I want to be a great cop, or whatever, in this case, cop, right? So I'll do it. Is there a similar thing? Can it be said, I want to be a great actor, so I got to go in a room with Weinstein or whatever, right? Everyone else does it, right? Weinstein was being wooed and wined and dined by all. EpiPen was being wined and dined by all the big boys. So they can't all be bad, right? Clearly they can, but is there an argument for that, right? Is there an argument for that? If so, does that cut both ways? Meaning, can all the people who did the bad things with Diddy, can they say, you can't charge me because I'm not actually a criminal, I'm a victim, right? I'm a victim. I wouldn't have done the things, except he made me do it because he would ruin me. He would destroy me. So it's under duress. I'm a victim. Is that an argument for even the people who might have also been on the island of EpiPen? We'll never find out because we're never going to know who was on that island because we're never going to find that out. So, but it's a question to ask, I guess. So, yes. All right. All righty. Let's see here. Morgan says, music people don't have power. I don't agree. Why do politicians want their endorsements then? Oh, no. Okay. Thank you for that clarification, Morgan. And by the way, Morgan, I don't think I ever gave you credit to your face from the debates. From your face, you're here. I guess in front of you. I can't say your face publicly. I said it publicly that night. I don't remember if you were watching. Remember the debates? You said that Trump would bring up race first. And I said, I don't think so. I was wrong. You were right. I want to make sure I give you credit publicly. You won the money with that. I did not think he'd do it first, and he did. You said that in the pregame show. For those of you who were watching the pregame show that night, that was very good. Yes. So I'm going to bring that up. So why do politicians want their endorsements then? And I'm going to change. I'm going to give you a nuance in this, Morgan. I'm going to give you a nuance. The nuance is they have influence, but not power. What's the difference? Diddy can move a crowd, get people to give money, get people to think better or worse about somebody. But P-Diddy can't put you in jail and end your career or have you shot. Well, maybe shot. Can't have you end your career ended and put you in jail. Those other guys can. That's when my power, right? So they have influence. So the people who are powerful want their influence, want their, I guess, facade of legitimacy. But the actual power is the guy who can have the FBI raid your house and put you in jail. So I think that's where it's a nuance, if that makes sense. All right, I hope that's clear. Lunatic, yet again, thank you for the $5. The Coliseum is crumbling. The fairs are ending. The circus is over. The illusions of the acts are being exposed. The empire is next. Prepare. Oh, brother, I wish you were wrong. I wish you were wrong. You've heard me use a similar analogy, and I say, people say, why aren't they fixing things, Larry? And I say, because they know the empire is burning, and they're trying to grift while the grifting's good. They're already preparing, right? It's some of us who aren't. They are already preparing. They know the empire is burning. They're like, we got to go grift. We got to get as much as we can before this is over. The barbarians are at the gate. we better grab our stuff. You have a very valid point. I do appreciate that. Yes, absolutely. So Jennifer says it is real and a distraction. Okay. Okay, then does timing matter then? How about that, Jennifer? I appreciate you being a member, by the way. If it's both, why arrest him now? Why not arrest him 3 weeks ago, 3 weeks later, after the election, last year? According to the indictment, this is stuff that's been going on for about 10 years, according to the indictment, like 10 years. Couldn't they have done it last year? I don't know. This is me and you just kind of spitballing here. Or could it have been, it could be a month from now, 2 months from now, after the election, right? So if it is, maybe that's what it is. Okay, maybe that's what it is. Am I wrong? Maybe that is something that's important. So let me grab a couple of these if I could. All righty. Wow, so many guys. I do appreciate all of these. Jennifer says, news is happening so fast, we can't process it all since, you know what, if you haven't noticed. So is it then distraction to like forget about other things? You make a valid point here, Jennifer. You make a very valid point. It seems almost like the news cycle is like 3 days, like that, right? Like 3 days. Morgan's on board. He says, I agree, real and distraction. Yes, it's about timing. Maybe that's right? Maybe that's what it actually is. Maybe it's just, okay, it was a week, then boom, then it was a week, then boom, then it was a week, then boom. Maybe that's what it is. I could see that, right? That in my head, I could get that it is timing. They're bouncing back and forth. I can see that. I think you may be right. All right, and grab some more of this if I could. All right. The Basic Beach says, I'm helping a candidate in Florida, and I never hesitate to be blunt, maybe too blunt. Refuse to stroke the ego. Well, let me give you 2 pieces of advice if I could here. I think it's amazing that you are not just going to stroke your candidate's ego. However, if I give you 2 pieces, you do sometimes want to. You may go, really? Yes. Why? Because if you, and this depends on what's happening with your candidate, you stroke his or her ego less when they're winning and more when they're losing. So if your candidate is doing well and she's, just got a great interview and is getting some, maybe getting a good donation, you can be a little bit blunt. But what happens if they were going to get the interview and then it got canceled? They didn't care, or you've been trying to get something, it didn't work, or some donor pulls out. Maybe time to stroke the ego a little bit. Because remember, that person is your front person. So I would say you want to look at what they're doing, right? You don't want to keep stroking when they're on top of the world, but when they're getting their butt kicked, it may be time to do so. Keeping them in the game, keeping them thinking. So just my 2 cents on that. You want to do what you feel is appropriate, but yeah. Cafe Letra says, being surrounded by yes men is the worst thing for progress. 100%. 100%. You're right. Right. Morgan goes on to say, yes men don't have your best interests. Yes, they have their own. 100%. Yes. Mary, how are you? My husband worked at MCA when Diddy started there as an intern. My husband didn't like him from the get and would always say bad things will happen to people around him. I rolled my eyes. Look now, I think your husband was on the nose. I think your person knows that. Yes, I'm with you. All right. I mentioned the idea of love of money being the root of all evil, and everyone's like, yes, you're right. All right. So maybe that was my mistake, Lindsay. Maybe I didn't get what you were saying. I first thought you were doing the old money is the root of all evil, right? But love, by the way, you know that song that Trump used to have for his show, The Apprentice? Money, 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 money. That's not actually called money. That's called, the name of that song is Love of Money. Yes. So I think maybe that's it. Grace says it, and so does Kim. Love money is the root of all evil. Okay. All right. I'll buy it. Okay. All righty. Let me grab a couple more of these. Morgan says, can't consent under the influence. Ooh, okay, yes. Point taken. However, here's a however on that. Did you consent to the influence? Right? So if you're hanging out with the guys and they go, hey, Morgan, here's some, whatever, MDMA, take some. And you go, yeah, okay, great. You take it, right? And it is MDMA. They're not lying to you. It's what they said. And now you start getting high and feeling great. And they go, great, go into the room and do the thing. And you go, what the hell? I feel great. And you go in. Did you consent? Now, clearly you consented to taking the MDMA. You consented. They asked. You said yes. You wanted it. You enjoy the feeling of it. You took it. Well, now you did something that you might regret. Did you consent? And that will be the argument, right? The argument will be, well, wait a minute. Okay, maybe he didn't consent to go into the room, but he consented to take the MDMA. He consented to that. So what are you going to do? I think that's the piece, right? The AC says they didn't want to remember it. Maybe, right? Maybe that's it. Maybe that's it. I mean, I do think it definitely could be an issue, right? That's how you would say. That's how you would say that they consented, because they consented to the influence, to the drug or the alcohol or the whatever they're taking. They would do that. Mike says Mark Robinson, Senate governor running for governor. Yes, thank you. That's the guy, right? Maybe it's something like that. They're going to find somebody who did something, said something wrong, whatever, right? Did the bad thing that Diddy told him to do, and go, oh, see, that guy's Trump's best friend or whatever. See, that's it. That kind of thing. Yeah. It could be that. I really think it could be that. Jennifer said, Diddy always said vote Democrat and hated Trump recently. Oh, it's funny. Remember he did that vote or die campaign forever? Wasn't that Democratic backed? I don't remember, actually. I don't remember. Yeah. Morgan says sex work is work. Yes, but is the money you get from it a tip or not? Which one is, which one isn't? Will it change how you decide which is which? Also, what state you're in, right? In states, many of you know that in most of Nevada, it is legal to be a sex worker. Some parts not. Like I think in Vegas, you can't be. It's against the law. You can't be. It's against the law. People are obviously. It's against the law to be a sex worker in Las Vegas, but many of the places it's legal. Does it change how you put your money down, right? So you were with Bobby for 40 minutes, whatever, $1 was what I charge, and it was a $200 tip, or right? I don't know. And that's the question, right? Because the other thing is, once you're in that field, does it then count if you go to online, OF? You go to the blue place, right? You go to OF. Is that tips now? Is that not tips? I don't know, right? What happens there? So that was what we were going to talk about, that kind of stuff. So yes. So user has been banned from any word says no tax on tips. Has a very different sound with that subject. Yes, it does, doesn't it? That's the point. That is the point. Absolutely. So that's why I'm talking about that. Yeah. Jennifer goes on to say, training day makes you realize how crooked cops are. Not all cops, but yes. But yes, 100%. 100%. Absolutely. Some of you are asking some of the stuff, the other stuff, but let me see if I can stand this for a little bit longer if I can. All righty. Let's see here. Matt I says, Megyn Kelly said there's going to be a big bombshell this year from EpiPen himself. Are these overlapping then, Matt? Right? In other words, are we going to find out that people who were with EpiPen were also with E-Diddy? Were they with both? So if I got stuck on this, I got stuck on the other. Or if you read the what's happening now is there are 2 or 3 sex workers who have decided they are going to be witnesses at the grand jury. So are they going to be people like, yeah, I was on the island, I was in the dungeon, right? I was in both of them, right? I got paid to be in the island, I got paid to be in the dungeon. Didn't matter where it was, I got paid either way. Is that going to happen? I could see that, right? I could see that if you're part of one, you're also part of the other, right? Yeah. Jennifer goes on to say, Cat called it and 50 Cent shortly before the raid. Yes, absolutely. 50 Cent's always been anti-Diddy. 50 Cent has always been anti-Diddy. Always. 100%. So I guess we know why now. Maybe that's why he got shot 9 times. Wait a minute. Pete's talking about, you don't like Diddy, you get shot. Maybe. I could see that. I could see that. Maybe. I could see that. Could be happening. Yes. Jennifer goes on to say, funny, Ukraine guy went away fast. Ryan with, look at that. Look at that, Jennifer. Thank you for being a member, by the way. Look at that. Jennifer calling it right out. Jennifer calling it right out. Is that what it is? You're right. So maybe Trump didn't get in trouble. Maybe nothing happened to him. Maybe there was no attempt. Look at this. Look over here. Look over there. Man, you guys always make me think that everything is like a conspiracy. So maybe it is. But yes, I can see that. Yeah. That's funny you say that because now I look at the news and it's all that. It's all that. Kim says something like Patty Hearst being a victim. I think you're going to see a bunch of that, Kim. I do. I think you're going to see a bunch of that because look, if you're some guy, whether you did it on purpose or not, right? I mean, obviously, whenever there's dark people and dark things, dark attracts dark too, right? So I'm sure of the people who were working with him, some of them were horrible people. I'm sure that's just how it works, right? They're attracted to that. But I'm also sure that they suckered in a bunch of people who didn't want to be bad, and they suckered them in. They became bad because they thought it was the right thing, or they were fooled, or whatever the case may be. I'm sure that also happened, right? I'm sure both happened. But the other part is, have any of you seen the World War II German series called Generation War? In German, it's Unsere Mutter, unsere Vater. Oh, unsere Vater, unsere Mutter. Our fathers, our mothers. In that, you find there's one bad guy. He's exactly what the people who you would not see would be, right? That's who he is. He's a really bad guy. And at the end of the series, he tries to convince the Allies when they're arresting people, no, I was one of the good ones, right? Because I did this and I was just following the orders, but I help people. Look how I help people. And they believe him in the series, which shows that I'm sure that happened, to your point. Some people who were bad guys pretended to be the ones who were trapped. Oh, no, I didn't want to do all these horrible things. I was trapped and forced to do all these horrible things. And in certain cases, the allies believe them. Oh, okay, so you're one of the good ones. You're fine. Oh, no, you go to the gallows. Oh, no, you're a good one. And I think the same thing's going to happen here. There's going to be people who were horrible and went to Diddy and were happy things were bad. I'm like, yeah, now we're doing terrible stuff. I'm in. And they're like, oh, I didn't want to. No, I was trying to help the kids. They're going to do that kind of thing. The question is, do we believe them? Not we. Does the jury believe them? Right? That's the question. Sarah, thank you so much for the $5. Speaking of songs, I hear the Baby Shark song when Larry's show's coming on. Larry Shark, doot. Yes, I know. I've been teased by that many times. The first person to tease me about that, believe it or not, if I remember, hold on. Was it Chrissy Mayer? I think it was Chrissy Mayer. Chrissy Mayer started singing that to me a while ago. So yes, he was the first person to tease me with the Baby Shark song. Yes, it does kind of sound catchy. Maybe I should change that. They'll probably sue me. I get shadow banned enough, Sarah. I don't require any more. I have like 9 people watching. I keep doing this. And I have to go live on 45 places, not 8. So we'll see. There we go. All righty. Mike says, part you are missing is that the rappers depend on their criminal status and thus no snitch and wild action. But like all entertainers, we do whatever for money and fame, just a matter of degree. But you have people who are wrapped up in this like Usher, right? And whether you like Usher or not, he doesn't have that persona at all. He doesn't rely or depend upon criminal status at all. That's not his thing. He's like the love song and cool stuff, right? I think I'm not sure that works for all the people involved. I think some of them that's true. But some of them, I don't think it matches. When you look at all the people in the music industry combined, there are a lot of them who don't follow that model. I'm not sure. So Grace goes on and says, Eminem raps about Diddy's connection to Pac and Biggie. Oh, yes. Yeah. So you're saying, okay, so all right. Perhaps I'm going to walk down a little bit. I'm going to go down a little bit of rabbit hole, a little bit. Maybe he was responsible or assisted or encouraged, maybe another a safe way of saying it, the back and forth between the two that got them killed. Maybe. There we go. Maybe. It could be that. Yes. Dave says, these entertainers are victims, in quotes, like the Republican Party of Iowa is a victim in the state of Iowa. The Republican Party of Iowa has all the power. They portray themselves as victims. All the time. You are correct, Dave. All the time. Yes. And that's the question. Will a jury buy it? Or does a prosecutor think, right, that the jury will buy it? If that's the case, they back away. I don't think it's an open and shut case. I do not think it's an open and shut case at all. I think he could get off. Another reason why I think he didn't flee. I think he thinks he can get off. And if he gets off, they'll never arrest him again. It'll be they have to have a massive, it'll have to be a big deal from the arresting. They'll arrest somebody else before they see this. Right? So yeah, no, I think it's not an open and shut case. I think some people are worried that they will see the wrong people as victims. And the question also is, who will talk about it and who won't? Here's the other issue, right? You might go, well, now he's caught. They'll all start talking. Maybe, right? Did everyone start talking with EpiPen? Where's all the people talking with EpiPen? So I'll ask you now, where are all the people talking? I'm talking about it, and I'm days late. I'm late talking about it. Where's all the celebs going, it wasn't me, it was him, it wasn't her, it was her. Where are they all? There's not a bunch? Quiet. And I don't know if the new thing, the new rumor they have out, right? This new rumor. I don't know if it's true. I'm very clear. I don't know if it's true, but here's the rumor that Diddy, it's dangerous for him in prison because if they get him, if he's gotten, that's all I'm saying. If he's gotten, then the prisoners get street cred in the prison system for that. I don't remember that being a thing. My father used to work at a prison. He worked at Rikers Island, a jail, Rikers Island. I don't remember. I've talked to many people. I don't remember that being a thing. If the person does bad things to children, That's 100% true. That is an accurate statement. If you do things to children and you find yourself in a jail or prison, you could be in trouble. That's true. That's absolutely true. I don't remember because you're a music mogul, everybody wants to shank you. I don't remember that. I would assume the opposite, that they would want to shake you down for cash. That's what I would think. If I'm in prison, say if I'm in prison for life and I can't do anything, I need money in my commissary, I'm gonna go shake Diddy down for some cash in my commissary. I'm gonna get me and all my boys to go. This is what I would do. Maybe I'm a better gangbanger than the rest. I would get me and my boys. We're gonna go see Diddy and say, hey, you need security. I got you. You're gonna put $2,000 a month of in our commissary so we can buy what we want in the commissary, and you're gonna be safe as could be. Done. I got 4 or 5 guys. He's dropping 10 grand a month. Easy. If Diddy laughs at that, drops 10 grand a month. He's got 5 bodyguards. Done. Nothing's happening to him. If I'm in here that long and I get $2,000 a month in my commissary, I'll take a knife for Diddy. Of course. It seems the opposite. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm not getting it, but I mean, I've talked to prison guards, tons of them. I feel like it'll be that. I think they're saying that because in case something happens, they will say, well, it was the evil gangbangers in jail. It wasn't us outside. We didn't do that. We love justice. We couldn't wait for Diddy to show everybody all the bad stuff. We couldn't wait. But it was those evil gangbangers in the jail. I don't see that at all. I think Diddy could easily pay for protection. Maybe I'm wrong. I mean, if you have any insight, if anybody here happens to be a corrections officer, and you have insight and I'm wrong, please tell me if I'm wrong. But it seems like you could easily get protection. Just take whichever whatever group you want, whatever's the strongest group. Is the Brotherhood strongest there? Is whatever. You're the strongest. Okay, here's your cash. And as long as I'm alive, you keep getting cash. Done. So I really think that that's something they use just in case something happens. So yeah. So the AC says you'll notice if you'll notice a lot of people have news on deck to distract. Also, that's actually a fact. He's right. That's correct. That's a true thing. I know. I deal with a lot. If you notice that I often have in the press, I'm often mentioned in the press here or there. I'll be on a show here or there. These reporters will often talk to me. Like I'll hear stuff. We'll go back and forth and I'll hear stuff and they'll be ready. Like that's not really hot now. That's not hot now. They are concerned about that too. They are also concerned with, to your point, what's hot, right? What's gonna get moving. They do care about that. Yes. All right. The AC goes on to say Diddy effed up and let Casey actually file papers. Well, according to Diddy's lawyers, take that for whatever you want. They say this is all just a setup, and she wanted everything, and that he was actually seeing somebody else, and that she was just mad because he wasn't giving her attention. That's what the lawyers say. The question is, who will actually believe? I don't know. Sarah, thank you for being a member. They took way too long to arrest Diddy, and that's suspicious to me. And I think timing matters. They gave him way too much time to warn people, or they watched him to see who went in and to indict more people. You know, I hadn't thought about the idea of to warn people. You know, that's a good point, sir, because again, I'm thinking about if it's me, right? If I know I'm in trouble and they may freeze my assets or change something, I'm going to set people up and go, look, Sarah, you remember those bad things you and me did? They were pretty bad. If they get me, they're going to get you. So here's what I want you to do. Take some of my money, keep it to the side. Something goes wrong, you pay my lawyers, and I keep my mouth shut. That makes total sense. Sarah be like, yep, I got you. Give me the money. I'll put it away. I will not take it because else I'm joining you in jail. So I'm not going to take the money because then you take the money, Sarah, you're going to join me in prison. So I'll keep it. I'll pay your lawyers. Just keep your mouth shut. I'll pay your lawyers. Right? I'd be figuring out things like that if I knew I was going to go to jail. Right? How do I hide this? Get this person? How do I tell someone like Morgan, don't rat me out. Don't worry about it. Don't rat me out. You know, I'll take care of this for you, that for you. And by the way, Sarah's got some friends who'll take care of you if you open your mouth. All those things. That's probably what will be happening. So I think that could have been happening. That may be why. Okay, this is becoming a conspiracy show. I didn't think this show would go down this road, but it's kind of going down this road. It's your fault, Sarah. I'm blaming you. You've made this a conspiracy show. It's your fault. All right, so I guess now, it could be that they waited so long because even Pinkerbell said it was a long time so that he could set himself up so that no one else goes down. That's possible. So that no one else goes down. So they pay his bills. Maybe he gets a little bit of time, whatever. Nobody, he doesn't get life or whatever that would be. Maybe. Could be. Maybe. And incorporate says for the love of money. Yes, correct. Isn't that what I said? Did I not say? I thought I said that. Did I not say that? That I didn't know that was the name of the name of the song is not Money, 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 which most people think that's the name because that is that's the chorus. But the name of the song actually is For the Love of Money. Yeah, For the Love of Money. Correct. Shelley says the Bible says that the love of money is root of all evil. Is that what it actually says? I haven't read the entire Bible since I was 18. So it's been a while. I've gone in and out here or there. But for those who don't know, I actually read the entire Bible. I don't know if I tell the story. When I was in boot camp, I joined the Marine Corps in 85 and give my age away. So when I went in, and those of you who went to military in that time frame will know, you can go with nothing. Like they give you everything from toothbrush to underwear. They give you everything. And of all the things they give you, one of the things they give you is, or gave you, and if they still do it, was a camouflage Bible. It's true. They gave me a camouflage Bible. So while I was in boot camp, I read the entire Bible cover to cover. So yes, that was the first time I'd read the entire Bible cover to cover. So in any case, I never remembered if it was money is the root of all evil or love of money. And I think many people say that money is root of all evil. And that's what I can't stand. I hate the idea of the thing, money itself being the root of all evil. But I completely agree, Shelley. Loving money is evil. Sorry, is the root of all evil, and maybe evil too. You shouldn't love money. That's not a thing you should love, right? You might like it because you can get things with it. It's nice. And I think we all like nice things, right? I like nice things. I'm sure you do too, Shelley. I think we all like nice things. So if someone happens to know the quote, I don't mean to be a nudge tonight, but if one of you happens to know the quote, Shelley, if you could find out if someone else knows it, I would like to see it because I forgot what it actually says. And I'd be curious. Thank you for that, by the way. I do appreciate that. Yes. All righty. If I can grab this. Mike, you said Pinky Bear one set, walking the dog. I love the fact that so often when we're talking, you're walking your dog. I love the fact that you care about your dog that much. You're walking it so much. That's amazing. Sometimes when Mike and I are doing shows together or when we're talking, we sometimes talk video, his dog will be in his lap. So it's just cute how much he loves his dog. That's all. I just want to say that, Mike. I love how you love your dog. That's great. Now, the AC says, in California, gratuities are taxable and tips aren't. I don't get the difference. There's a difference? You guys got to help me out on that one too. I'm giving you guys work tonight. I'm sorry, but I'm not sure where that goes. I thought they're the same, aren't they? Unless it's gratuity. Oh, is gratuity assumed? Is that the difference? Yeah. So it goes on to say sex workers would have to charge minimum wage in order to claim the rest of oh, you're right. Yeah, they couldn't do $1, could they? Yeah, legally, they'd have to say they're working for minimum wage and the rest would be a tip. You know, for you people who like to raise the minimum wage, they'll still raise the minimum wage because the government is not going to like this at all. You're right, Shelley. They're going to minimum wage is $1 million an hour. We want all your tax. They might do some stuff like that. So, yeah, they could do that. Yeah, that's good. That's good. That's a very valid point. They have to do that, so they have to change everything. That's true. Yes. Pickerbell says, thank you for being a member. Likely rich perverts flock together. Yes, and I would say for two reasons. One of them is if you flock together with all that money, you can protect yourself easier, right? But it's something else. It then makes you feel elite. Does that make sense, Pickerbell? It makes you feel elite because only we do the cool thing. Only we do the odd thing. Us, the elite people who have all the cash and stuff. So we're cooler than all the regular people because we do it. I think, yeah, I completely agree. I think that's true. Yeah. Guys, I've been asking you a lot to click the like button. Please do so. It does matter. If you're watching on anything, Twitter, Facebook, whatever the case may be, retweet it, share it, repost it, let people know what's happening. If you happen to be watching on YouTube, please subscribe to the YouTube channel. Larry Sharpe YouTube channel. Click that bell for notifications so people know that it's happening. It is important. If you want to super chat me, if you do it, please go ahead. Click click that Larry Sharpe super chat. It'd be great on YouTube if you would. And of course, if you're going to become a member, and you see I grab members as fast as I can. If you become a member on YouTube, Larry Sharpe YouTube, click join, $5 a month. You are a member. I try to take your stuff first. I appreciate it. And you also get the notifications. So please, if you would do, also helps tremendously. Every bit counts. I'm trying to move this to a point where I can do more and more of these. I can travel, come back to this again, travel, come back to this again, back and forth, back and forth. So thank you so much for that, guys. I appreciate all the help that you've been doing it. So, all righty. Matt says, I like Dr. Drew and Joe Rogan now. Who knows how much stuff we've been lied to about, or true events of events unknown or played to a narrative. It makes you think, damn, how much history is fabricated. This is an issue, right? And then immediately AC says, history is written by the winners. Yes, right? There is an issue here. The glory of having the Joe Rogans and Dr. Drews and whatever the case, and the Larry Sharpes, not the same as Joe Rogan, but I have enough, is that you get to hear other things, other ideas. And so maybe, a guy like me who lost the election can write some history. You know what I'm saying, Matt, to AC's point? Maybe we could. So I do think that is possible, but I like the idea of being able to have those other things. It really does matter. Fina, how are you? Fina is, for those of you who don't know, Fina is running in Florida right now. I had her on my show, a month ago, 2 months ago. I forgot when I had. I got to have her on again. Maybe I'll have you on again coming up here. She's out there trying to rock and roll, running as libertarian in Florida, trying to make something happen. She says, hi, Larry, long-time listener here. Just wanted to remind folks to like, share, comment, and share. I have to reach out to you, Fina. I have been behind. I'm sorry. I've been running around. So, yes, I will do that. Woman in the Woods says, Larry, I am, but for some reason, Rumble decided to end my stream. I don't know why Rumble did, but yes, today this stream got ended on Rumble, but usually you will find me on Rumble. Yes. Rumble, Twitter, Facebook, Getter, YouTube, Vimeo, Twitch, one more. I'm on 8. I forgot. And they all go out, whatever you're on. That's why you hear me say, if you're on this, if you're on that, if you're on this. I get so shadow banned so horribly. I used to do this on just one, and I get thousands of views. Once I started talking about not liking mandates, that was all I had to do. This was back in 2020. I talked about not liking mandates. 90% reduction in my audience. They couldn't just cancel me because I ran for governor. So they didn't just cancel me. I was a public figure. So they're like, okay, we can't cancel him. We'll just destroy him. And they did. So that's why I'm on so many right now, because of that. So usually I am on it. I think tonight, for some reason they decided no, but yes, that is true. So anyway, Jennifer says, Usher and Bieber and Shine were clearly messed up by Diddy. Yeah. Like, I don't want that to be true. Like, it doesn't mean it's not true. I'm telling you, I don't want Usher or Bieber to be part of this. I'm not saying they're not. I'm telling you my emotion here, only my emotion. I don't want them to be part of this. Not that I'm big fans of either, but I don't see either of them as being like bad, evil people. A lot of them I think are. I don't think maybe they are. Like, I don't know either of them personally. They could be terrible human beings. It's possible. But my image of them, both of them, is they're not bad guys. That's my image, that they're good guys trying to do the right thing. Whatever, whether you like the music or not, that is the point. That's my image of it. And to Mike's point, these guys are not like, bad boy rappers and talking about killing people and stuff like that. So I hope they're not part of it. That's what I'm saying. I'm hoping that they're not. They might be. I'm not, I'm not fooling myself. They might be, but I really don't want them to be. That's what I'm going to say. I don't want them to be part of it at all. I hope they're not. That's what I'll say. Okay. So grab some more of these if I can. Jennifer goes on to say, yeah, most rappers today like Drake. Drake doesn't make a bad guy either. Yeah. Right. See, Sarah's with me too. I saw Usher when he was 16 over for Janet Jackson. This is a pre-Diddy, poor guy. See, I get that. Morgan doesn't want it either. He says it was an early victim of Diddy. Yeah, it had to be his friend. I hope it's not. Like, I really want to believe that none of that, right, is true. I don't know if it is, but I do. Like, I don't want to hear it. I want you all to be wrong. Like, I really want you all to be wrong. I want you all to be wrong. Yes. User has been banned for naughty words. Says EpiPen lasted 10 years after the first time. No. Yeah, that's my point. It'll be a long time before they get him again. You're exactly right. right? If he gets off on that, right, it'll be 10 years before they catch him again. If they catch him again, he might leave the country. He might do it. He might leave the country. Who knows? Jonathan telling jokes. Jonathan got jokes tonight. He already got off. You got the jokes, Jonathan. There we go. Yes, absolutely. You got the jokes. I appreciate that. Yes. Blue Black Boss says the new diss track would be They Did Diddy. Ooh. That would be, yeah. I like that. Yes. Sarah says, maybe if Trump is elected, he can host an MMA fight with Diddy, Cosby, Ghislaine, Weinstein, R. Kelly. Who else? We can bring back okay, but hold on. If we do that, all right, okay. If we do something like that, we got to have some kind of rule, like for every victory, you like knock a year off your sentence or something, and then every one you lose, you like gain a year or something like that. And we're gonna do something like that. We gotta give him some kind of thing, right? Something, or I don't know. But yeah, that'd be amazing. That'd be amazing. I mean, the problem though is, Diddy's gonna be in the best shape. Oh, R. Kelly maybe. Diddy and R. Kelly are gonna be in good shape. Cosby's in trouble, right? Cosby's in trouble. Weinstein's in trouble. They're getting beat up bad. I don't think they want to even go in unless they just hope they get killed so they keep going. I don't know. Yeah. No, AC's figured it out. He says right there to derail the news cycle. And the more I think about it, yeah, absolutely. Shelley says, thank you for calling Rikers Island a jail. Hollywood seems to think that people serve life at Rikers. Yeah, and for those you don't know, most people don't actually know the difference between the two. People go to jail when they're being held before trial, or sometimes after trial, but it's made for someone who is supposed to be there for less than a year. That's what jails are supposed to be about. Less than a year, should be in theory only a couple of months at maximum, so you can have your trial and your answer. Sadly, that does not happen in today's world. It just doesn't. But that's what I'm made for, to Shelley's point. You're supposed to just spend 3 months to a year, no more than that in a jail. Then you get your sentence, you get either convicted or not. If you're convicted, you then go to a prison. Prison is for people who are convicted. That's what that is for. And that is held for people to be there for a long time, obviously more than a year. Originally, if I remember, in many states, may still be true. If the crime, the way they would say if something's a felony or not, how the misdemeanor versus felony is if the jail term could be over a year, which is why there used to be songs that would say, we'll put you in jail for a year and a day, because a year and a day made you a felon. A year, you were still misdemeanor. That's why that saying comes, we're going to put you in jail for a year and a day, which means you'll become a felon. That was what that was about. That's sadly not true. So to her point, people don't spend their life at Rikers, but often spend too long. Sometimes spend 2-3 years in a jail that's meant for you to be there for 3 months to a year. So yeah, Rikers is a very dangerous jail because it should be used as a jail, not as a prison. Right. Most of the prisons in America, in New York, are upstate. I think all of them. Are there any? I don't think there are any prisons downstate. I think they're all upstate. I think they are. There used to be a prison in Manhattan, like 200 years ago. But no, not anymore. I don't think there's any prisons downstate at all. I can't think of any. I don't think so. But in any case, yes. All righty. Let's see here. Morgan says, is it Timothy 6:10? Do you know where it is? Doesn't sound right. Might be true. Been too much time, Morgan. Been too much time. Yeah, been too much time. Yeah, maybe. The Intercorporate says, almost exactly 10 months since her lawsuit revealed the allegations. I think you're talking about someone else, not to me. I didn't get that one. Sorry about that. Yes. All righty. Let's see here. Instant Defense says, money is magic. I like that. I like money is magic. Oh, it is. Pink About Rose. It is. I didn't think it was First Timothy. Okay, it is. There we go. I did not think that it is. For the love of money is the root of all kinds of evil. There. Okay, that's the actual verse. For the love of money is the root of all kinds of evil. But Kim says, for the love of money is the root of all evil, which while some coveted after, they have erred from the faith and pierced. All right, so either way, whichever version you use, she's using King James, obviously, which is the one I know. So yeah, okay. So it is the love of money. I'm in. That's what it is. There we go. The love of money. Thank you, guys. All right. Matt says gratuities are mandatory. Okay, see? There we go. All right, we're good. Okay, AC says correct. He's right. There we go. Got it. All right. Etelka, same thing for love, money, rule. All right, so we got it down. All right, we're good. Now, we're learning all kind of things tonight, aren't we? There we go. There we go. I love it. I didn't realize it was 1 Timothy, but that's fine. I don't remember. I can't remember all these things. I apologize. So, yes. All righty. Sarah says everything comes back to Bone Thugs. And Harmony. Anyway, Mike says, Khan, my dog, full name Genghis Khan Vasquez, is a camera hog. He knows people think he's cute. You should see when he dances on live streams. There we go. And he is cute. Yes, absolutely. That's absolutely true. Yes. Pinguin says, yes, exactly, Larry. Big club, we ain't in it. Yes. And that was George Carlin, right? Who said that one? George Carlin? He said that? Yeah, and I do. And I think the funny part is, as they do bad things together away from everyone else, they actually feel better about it. See, we get to do the bad things because we're the cool people. Yes, absolutely. All right. Morgan says, there's an African proverb that says, until the lion learns to write, history will be always favor the hunter. Huh. Okay. Peekaboo says, Larry pulling Joe Rogan numbers would get him out of the bunker. It would. You're not wrong. Peekaboo, you're not wrong. Yes, absolutely. 100%. Woman in the Woods says, Larry, I've been listening to you since 2016-ish. Wow. 8 years. Look at you go. I had the pleasure of meeting you at the LPPA, which is the Libertarian Party of Pennsylvania convention this year while I was getting coffee one morning. Thank you for all you do. I wasn't joking, guys. Like when I go out and talk to people, I just talk to people all the time. You can see me other places. I have people around me sometimes. I have a crew sometimes around me. I do. But you can still talk to me. I talk to people all the time. I will, if I'm eating, I'll have lunch with people. I'll chat. I'm just the guy who keeps talking to people. I don't mind at all. How do you think I know so many of you? Can I ask questions about you? Yes, that's what I do. So Shelly goes, Roku. Thank you. Yes, Roku. I'm on Roku also. Yes, thank you for that. Absolutely. Yes. All righty. Another super chat. Sarah says, speaking of songs. Oh, wait a minute. This one already. Wrong one. Wrong one. Hold on. Let me grab this one. I'm going to grab. Super Weapons, $2. What are your thoughts on Jill Stein and the Breakfast Club? I want to bring this up if I could. It's a little bit off topic, but it's fine. It's a super chat. I'll do it anyway. Jill Stein should show everybody how corrupt the DNC is. It should be crystal clear. Why? The DNC was basically ignoring Jill Stein for months, just ignoring her, right? She was getting funded by the anti-war left, which is fine. Good for her. She's a totally anti-war left person. It's the perfect group for her. She's absolutely left and absolutely anti-war. Perfect donor base for her. And it was working well. She's making some money, doing some stuff, winning here, losing here, whatever. They were kind of ignoring her. The second RFK Jr. goes, okay, I'm going to get by on a Trump train. The second that happens, they go, oh, you done? Oh, okay. Jill Stein. And they have been hammering Jill Stein until tomorrow. And here's what I'm going to say. Clearly, she is a Green Party. I know Jill Stein. I met her a couple of times. Wonderful person, if you've met her. Clearly, a lot of our policies are not going to align, obviously, right? She's far more socialist than I am, by far, than I am. However, we do agree on anti-war. I am an anti-war activist, as she is. So in that, we agree. So there's certain things we do agree. We both agree on decriminalizing cannabis. So a couple things we do align on. There are a couple. But generally speaking, we do not agree on issues. With all that in mind, she has every right to be on the ballot as anybody else. You should have an option to vote for her if you want to, whether you agree with her or not. She should not be hammered. She is the duly elected or nominated. She's a nominated candidate for the Green Party, which is a serious party in America. What I mean by that, it is a party that has enough ballot access to where they could theoretically win the election. That's serious enough. If you are on enough ballots that there's a chance that you can win the election, why shouldn't you be heard? Why shouldn't you be heard? There is a chance you can win. There's a chance. You should be heard. And if people don't vote for you, they don't vote for you. They vote for you, they vote for you. And the Breakfast Club was an ambush For those who didn't see it, Jill Stein went on the Breakfast Club and they ambushed her. She came on with her VP nominee, and they basically ambushed her, called her blah, 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 attacks. And I got to give it to her. She went into that and fought. And did she respond well? No. Wasn't great. But Jill Stein is an activist. That's what she is. She's an activist. So she doesn't always respond to the attacks from the establishment as well as one could. Now, if I was coaching her, maybe she'd be better. But that isn't the point. The point is, kudos to her for going into the ambush. Kudos to her for trying. Horrible that the DNC is attacking her and stopping her from being heard. Horrible the DNC is ambushing her and trying to destroy her and make sure she is disrespected, disengaged, not in anything. Now they'll bring her on to their media now so they can ambush her and make her look bad, calling her Putin puppet, saying she's part of the rush. Nothing but bad stuff. She is none of those things. She may believe some of those things that you might think. Yes, she probably does believe those things, but she's not getting paid by Russians. That's not a thing. That's made up. She's not. If you think her policies are wrong, they're just wrong. She's not being paid by this guy or that guy. That's not. And people getting paid are the people who are ambushing her. They're getting paid by the DNC, right? Though the people who are getting paid are the people who are ambushing her and calling her a lie, and calling her a liar and saying that she's being paid. Those are the people being paid. So that's my view on that. Again, I'm not going to vote for Jill Stein. We don't agree on policy, but she has every right to be in the press like anybody else, to be treated like any other presidential candidate, and to be on the debate stage like anybody else. If you don't like her, don't vote for her. But she's on enough ballots to win. She could, in theory, win the election. She's on enough ballots in enough states. That is a valid candidate. That's what I think. So I support her completely. Ryan says, so thank you for $5. I appreciate it. If you commit crimes due to money, does that mean you are against money control? Lol. If you commit crimes due to money, commit a crime because you don't have cash, so you don't like money control. No. It means you want to control the money. You're okay with money control as long as you're the one controlling it. That's what I say about dictatorships. Dictatorships are amazing if you're on this side of the firearm. Then it's good, right? You're against the wall. I'm behind the firearm. Not so bad. The problem is when I'm against the wall. That's when it becomes bad. So I would say you want to control the money. How about that? I would do that. Yes. All righty. Okay. So Matt was saying, speaking of Jill Stein, she was talking bad about RFK because he had a super PAC. I know. She's just jealous. I'm not joking. She would love to have a super PAC. Of course she would. She would love that. Let me be very clear. In today's world, every candidate wants a super PAC because that's how you win. Super PACs or massive infrastructure within the party structure. Either one of those two, 100%. That's what it is. Yeah, that's what it is, 100%. All right. Kim says gratuity is defined in the labor code as a tip, gratuity, or money that has been paid or given to or left for an employee by a patron of a business over and above the actual amount due for services. So according to this, gratuity and tip are the same. That's what I thought, right? That's what I thought. But maybe in this case, they're splitting hairs, Kim. Maybe. But that's what I think. Maybe. Yeah. I'm not really sure on that one. Yeah. All right. Another super chat. Thank you so much, Lunatic. Movies. Spy Game, The Matrix, Surviving the Game, New Jack City, Falling Down, They Live. These films are game-changing. All right, let's see. Get that. I walked out. They Live is one of my favorite movies. Totally a cult classic. 86, 87, something like that. 80s, right? They Live in the 80s. Roddy Piper, Keith David. Great movie. Absolutely. Yes. 100% great movie. Love it. I still use memes for it. It's great. If you have, I had my daughter watch it with me because it makes so much sense. Yes. Falling Down 100%. Michael Douglas. Is that right? I think I'm right with Michael Douglas on that one. Great movie about a guy who's just done. And that was like 90s. And that movie could be today. Like that. In fact, They Live too. They Live could be today. Falling Down could be today. New Jack City. Yeah, but not. New Jack City is very much a time period. Don't you think? It's very much a time period piece. Still good, but really much a time. It kind of shows the difference between gang versus not. Yeah, I think that's time period. I don't know if that movie flows well in history. I'm not sure. Surviving the Game does, absolutely. Matrix does too. I think Spy Game too. The only one I'm iffy on is maybe New Jack City. The rest, I think you're right. The Matrix is one of my favorite movies too. One of my favorite movies. I totally agree. A lot. One of my favorite sayings. I still use it. I just used a meme from it on my. I just used the meme from the Matrix on my social media. If you remember, one of my favorite parts of the movie is, for those of you who've seen it, Neo, who's the hero, goes to see the Oracle, and there's this little bald kid sitting down, and he's bending spoons with his mind. And as he's bending spoons, Neo's watching him going, wow, you're bending a spoon. He says, I'm going to I don't remember the exact phrase, but I'm paraphrasing. He goes, when bending the spoon, don't concentrate on bending the spoon. That's impossible. Instead, try to focus on the truth. And he goes, what truth? And he says, there is no spoon. And I say that all the time when people think there's something. I go, there is no spoon. People say, we're going to fight for democracy. There is no democracy. We're going to fight for the people. There are no people. I love that one. That's one of my favorite ones from The Matrix. So yes, I appreciate that. That's a good one. So Instant Defense says, Santa Sangre? Santa Sangre. Is that a movie? This one I don't know. Like everything you guys done so far, I've known. This one I don't know. Is this a movie? Well, I'm going to check it out now. They got me. I've been asking you to do all the work. Now you guys making me do work now. Okay, hold on. It's fair. I've been asking you to do work. I can do some too. Oh, it is. Oh, it is. I have not seen it. 89. All right. I have homework. I will see if I can watch it. Okay. I will see if I can watch it. I've not seen it. Instant Defense. I don't know what it's about. A former circus artist escapes from a mental hospital to rejoin his armless mother. Okay. This is going to be a movie then. I'm intrigued. You win. I will watch this weekend. Okay, you win. Done deal. That was good enough. I read that. Done. So watching it. 100%. Yes. Jonathan says, DJT was close with both Combs and Epi. Maybe while this distraction is occurring. This is what I was bringing up earlier, right? I think you got it, Jonathan. When Mike brought this concept up of why, who cares, I think this might be the piece. They might try to find something, right? And then use that to go, this is why Trump is bad. I mean, in theory, you could try to get Harris, but I think they're really going to try to get Trump on this one. That's my gut. I think you're right on this. Then no, this is why you get him. This is why you do it. Yeah, I think that's it. Yeah, 100%. Anti-Corporate says super weapons. Yeah, you're not the first to say that. Oh, from what I said, I'm not sure. I might have missed that one. These go by quickly. Some of that I can't grab them all always, so I apologize if I can't get them all. So, all right. Shelly says you're also on WYSL Radio, a free solution. Yes, I'm on a bunch of these things. I'm on a lot because I have to get all my numbers up. Right? I have to get all those numbers up. Yes. See, Sarah's on my side. She says, I hope Usher and Bieber were never groped. Sorry, thank you. Raped. Because that's what it sounds like happened. Yeah. I don't want that to be true. I mean, maybe I'm fooling myself. Maybe I'm fooling myself, but I'm Sarah, I'm with you. We're on the same page. I don't want this. I want it to be not be true. Mike goes, I told you it's political timing. Yeah. Okay. Sometimes you're right, Mike. All right. You got to rub it in now. No, just kidding. Mike's actually often right. I tease him. I tease Mike because I love him, but yeah, he's often right. It's true. So yeah, absolutely. The AC says Eric Adams had to stop reporting deaths at Rikers. Yes. That actually happened. And you going, what? That actually happened. That's actually what happened. That he stopped reporting them because it was so bad. He's like, you know what? If I just stop telling you that they're dying, maybe you'll think they weren't. That's kind of what he did. Yes. Sarah says, I was raised Catholic, not practicing, and we are awful at remembering passages. If you notice, generally speaking, right, people who are raised either Eastern Orthodox, which I am today, I'm part of the Eastern Orthodox Church because of my family, but I was raised Protestant. People who are either Eastern Orthodox or Catholic tend to not know the Bible well. That's not 100%, but as a tendency, they tend to not. Why? Because you have priests who learn the Bible for you, speak it to you, those types of things. But Protestants, we read the Bible. Like, I know a lot of people are red letter Protestants, like read the Bible that only what Jesus says. That's it. The rest doesn't matter. Jesus didn't say it, don't count. So yeah, I think Protestants tend to, again, this is a very broad brush, but Protestants tend to know the Bible better than Catholics and Eastern Orthodox because we don't have the same level of priests. And there are a whole lot more lay preachers when it comes to Protestants compared to Catholics and Eastern Orthodox. There are very few lay preachers in Eastern Orthodox. There's some in Catholics. There are lots in Protestant. It's very common for us. So yeah, that's true. Shelley says, I've met Larry a bunch of times. You have. That's true. Finally agreed to take a selfie. Larry looks great. I look terrible. Well, I'm not going to say that, but yes, thank you. That would be great. 100%. All right. Let's see if I can go down here. All righty. Woman in Wood says, absolutely no one's talking about Chase and Mike. Agreed. And nor are they talking about Cornel West. Right. For a while, no one was even talking about Joe Stein. Remember, the people who are concerned about this are the DNC. They put, I'm not joking, $1 billion aside to remove people from the ballot. The Democrats do not want to have an answer. That's not what they want. So why would they? They have Orange Man Bad. They have Orange Man Bad. That is their answer. So I don't want to make anything. So instead, let's just get all the other people off the ballot. And they focus one at a time. The first person they focused all their ire on was RFK Jr. Every bad story, every bad this, ignore him from that, attack him on this, bad news cycle, bad news cycle, bad news cycle, story from 10 years ago, story from 20 years ago, story from 15 years ago, story from 20, 30 years ago, boom, boom, boom. Well, he said, okay, I'm on Trump train. Oh, good. He's out of our way. Now, boom, the next one, which is Jill Stein. Jill Stein can make some impact. Sadly, Chase and Cornel West won't. The odds are they won't even break 1%. They can't raise the money. Cornel West has a chance of doing something decent only because he may get the youth vote, but I'm not sure. The biggest issue is Jill Stein is the only anti-war candidate now. Don't get me wrong. Trump is less war than Harris. Harris is the ultimate war candidate. Trump is like Junior. But Jill Stein is actually a true anti-war. She's so anti-war that I think when I say Jill Stein's name, Mike gets a headache. He's like, oh, I got a headache. So I said Jill Stein. That's how much of an anti-war candidate she is. It is that bad. She's like 100% get rid of everything. And if you are an anti-war person, if that's important to you, if you value that tremendously, she's the one for you. It's the perfect connection if that's where you are. And there's a chunk of Americans, a couple of percent. I mean, it's not going to win, obviously, right? I mean, I don't mean to be mean, but can she make impact? Yes. Jill Stein can make impact. Why? Because this race could be won on 2%. And if that 2% goes to Jill Stein and doesn't go to Harris, Trump could win this thing on that 2%. Democrats know that. They know that Chase and Cornel West aren't going to make a dent. And if anything, they'll bounce each other out, if anything, but they're not going to make a dent. Jill Stein could. Jill Stein is raising money. She's raising money. She already broke $1 million. She's raising money. She raised $300,000 just for New York State for ballot access. She's raising money. So that is why that talking about if Chase and if Cornel West are raising millions of dollars, they'd be attacking them too. And I know you're saying, Larry, about this damn money thing. Yes, it's about the money thing. It's about the money, 100%. Ryan's on my side. He says he's talking to Sarah, but he's on my side. He goes, I was raised Baptist and Lutheran, but devout Catholic now. I still don't remember scriptures. When you were Protestant. Yes. When you were Protestant. Yes, it's true. Absolutely. When you were Protestant. I know that's why I even thought to read the Bible. I was raised Protestant. That's why I was thought to read it. I had a Bible in my house. I have a Bible now. I have one in my house. I haven't read it though. I haven't read the full Bible in literally since I was 18. That's the last time I read the full thing. And I remember pieces of it here or there. Clearly, some I've forgotten a lot though. But yes, of course. So in any case, that's good. All right. Jens Corporate says, AC, I'm sorry, says, did you see her on Zateo? Many ate her for breakfast. That was another horrible ambush. Yes, I did. I couldn't watch the whole thing. Mehdi wrote a book. I don't know if you guys know that. I forgot the name of it. I read his book. He wrote a book on how to smash people. Like basically, here's how to devastate them. He wrote a book. If I ever go on a show, I'm going to refresh his book before I go. Obviously, no one told Jill Stein that he wrote a book or never told her to read it because he has a formula. Here's how I trash you. He says it even when he's wrong. Here's how you fight if you're wrong. Here's how if you have the data. Here's if you don't. He tells you how to do it. When to yell, when not to yell. It's you wrote a whole book on it. You get on Audible. That's how I got it. Audible. Just get it. So yes, they didn't bother reading it. 100%. They didn't do it at all. Yes. All righty. I'm glad you're chatting a lot. It's very good. All right. Shelley says, is anyone noticing that both Democrats and Republicans are saying things like the libertarian part of me? Yes. This is, a lot of people are mad at Angela McArdle, who is the chair of the Libertarian Party. A lot of them are. But she said something that she was exactly right. She said libertarians could decide this election this year. She's not wrong. Give or take, people who vote libertarian, we know could be about 3%. That's what Gary Johnson got, right? That's our best, 3%. So at our best, we're about 3%. Well, that's that same 2%. Yes. But many of them aren't going to Chase. They aren't. You see it. They're not going to other people. To Chase, not going to Cornel West. Where are they going? They're going to Trump, Harris. You see it online. People saying, I'm a libertarian, I'm voting Harris, I'm voting Trump. You see it? And the hardcore anti-war libertarians might even go to Joe Stein. So, yeah, everyone's trying to grab a piece. They all want a piece, right? That's their goal. So, yes. See, Morgan says, I thought tipping gratuity was synonymous. Me too. Yes. See, I'm not the only crazy one. Me too. 100%. All righty. I am going to watch that, by the way. Yes. Ryan agrees. Falling Down with Michael Douglas is a classic. 100%. 100%. Piggybar says, I don't know. I feel like if she wanted a super PAC, there's enough money floating around from people with the best interest in pulling off votes from them. No, but okay, to be forward. Piggybar, when people make a super PAC, they don't need your permission. So Piggybar, you decide, I'm going to run for Congress. And I go, oh my God, I would love Piggybar to win in Congress. I just start a super PAC. I don't ask you. I don't tell you if I don't want to. I start one. I start a super PAC and I call it the Pink is In PAC, whatever. That's a kind of cool name. I call it that. And then I raise money and go, I'm trying to get, candidates like Piggybar to win. Give me money and I'll start supporting her. So you don't even have to ask. If I think that I just do it. You can't stop me. You can tell people you don't support me if you want to. You can say that, but I can do whatever I want. I can do ads for you. I can write. I think $5,000. I think is the max that I can give directly to your campaign. So I give money directly to your campaign. I can do it. I can buy signs for you. I can help you with door knocking. I can pay door knockers to go out and then knock on doors for you. I can do that. So if people wanted it, they would just do it. The person doesn't have to ask. The super PAC supports who it wants to support, right? And that's what it is. So just for clarity, you don't have to ask for it. They can just do it. So, all righty. AC, Bad Santa. Also a very good movie. I agree. Yes. Jennifer says, J-Lo just endorsed Harris, and she was with Diddy when the shooting happened. That's Shine with she trying to get a pardon. Jennifer, J-Lo trying to get a pardon. I'll endorse you. Something happens. Pardon me. Absolutely. Yes. All right. Jess says, you got a show with no sound bites allowed tomorrow, right? Hey, did I miss you covering speaking at the INC 24? Just joined 5:30. Jess, 2 parts. Yes, tomorrow at 3 p.m. Eastern. I'll be on, but it's not on No Sound Bites Allowed. It's on Old Man Voss. All right. Old Man VASS. It's on Old Man Voss tomorrow at 3 p.m. We're talking about sci-fi villains. We're doing a top 10, each top 10. You're going to see who has the cooler top 10. It's me. But that's okay. You'll see who has the cooler top 10. So that's what we're doing tomorrow. I did not talk much about INC 24 because the stuff won't be coming out. I thought it was going to be live streamed. It's not. So it won't come out till next week. So I'll probably talk a bit about it next week. I may chat more about it tomorrow. I'm probably going to do I will do an AMA tomorrow, probably around 7 or 8. Depends on how long Mike keeps me. I'll do probably one at 7 or 8 p.m. tomorrow. And at that point, we'll answer all the questions about that also. So we will answer all of those questions at that time. Lunatic is going to say, New Jack City, crack, fentanyl, oxy, heroin. Oh, yes, right. I'd forgotten about that. You know what? I take that back. It might, because For those who don't remember that movie, New Jack City, that's Chris Rock, Ice-T, Wesley Snipes. Is that right? Did I get that right? I think I got that right. Those three are in that one. They actually show how they make crack, people wanting to have crack, all that kind of good stuff. So yeah, that's a good point. I didn't think about that. Yes. Pickabout says only in red words. You didn't know that? That's a thing? Those of you who've been around more evangelical Protestants, if you've been around them at all, or you are yourself, there are people who call themselves red letter Christians. I've known many of them. And they're like, I only read the red words. Like, those are the words that matter. Everything else is secondary. In their minds, or in their belief, maybe, whichever you want to call it, they say if it's before Jesus, it's Old Testament, right? So whatever Jesus said, that's New Testament. That's what I care about. The rest is Old Testament. And I'm not saying they're right or wrong, Pinker, but I'm just saying that is a sect of Protestants. And the Bible they have is called a red letter Bible. It's just the Jesus parts. That's it. I haven't read that, but I've seen it before. I've known people who are that way. So yes, that's true. Yes. All righty. Let's see here. I do want to grab a couple before. Yeah, if I could. Pinker goes on to say ambush as if people don't know his interview style. This is what I'm going to tell you, Pinker, as someone who's run, right? And the AC says, yeah, his book's called Win Every Argument. Literally. That's the name of the book. Yes. 100%. Yes. It's the name of the book. Yes. But they, maybe not, right? Maybe not. I'm in this all the time. I'm watching, I'm reading books. I know who wrote the book. Like, I go on TV, I'm not running and I'm doing this. So I'm always involved. People who aren't don't always know. And the people who she gets on her team don't always know. They don't always know. They're not always sure, but something else happens. If you spend all your time around your own, in your own people, in your own echo chamber, you don't realize how people will destroy you. You don't get it. You don't see it, right? I see with libertarians all the time. Libertarians are all around together with all libertarians. They go someplace else and get slaughtered by somebody else. Don't know why. Well, because you don't talk to them. I'm the idiot who talks to everybody. So I hear all the arguments. I see what they're saying. And I have something else a lot of people don't have. A lot of people don't have a lot of empathy for the other. Well, he doesn't think like I do. Therefore, he's evil. She thinks differently. Therefore, she's evil. I try to the best of my ability to assume that the person I'm talking to, if they disagree or not, is still trying to get the right thing done. I assume that to be true. I mean, there's some bad people who don't care, just want to win, but I assume they're not. So yeah, I'm with you. To me, it's obvious. To others, not so much. So yeah, AC says, but people still run into that buzzsaw. Well, this is the second piece. You have an option here. Do you go unprepared or do you not go? And when it's someone like that, here's what I know happens. Again, I've done this before. They go, the Medi people tell her, hey, can we get Jill Stein on today at 5? That's how they do it. They don't go, hey, 2 months from now, can you prepare Jill for this? They don't do that. They literally say, they go, hey, Pinkerbell, can you come on Mehdi Hassan's show today at 5? You go, it's 2 o'clock. Yeah, can we have her in studio today at 5? It's an hour to travel. I know. Can we have her today at 5? Holy crap. She's already got something to do. I know. Can we have her today at 5? So she's already doing a lunch, got to travel an hour to go see him. You have an hour in a car to prep. You might be tired. You might want a nap. You might have donors to call. That kind of stuff happens all the time. And they know it. That's done on purpose, right? They're not going to go, hey, can we have Jill Stein on next Tuesday so he has 4 days to prep? No. We want her in 3 hours. Otherwise, no. And now your team has to go, do I say no to that? Do I say no, knowing that that odds are that's the only way they're going to let me on? They will only let me on if they can ambush me or they're not letting me on. What do? Usually, to AC's point, you run to the buzzsaw. Because at least, you know what? We're talking about it. Without it, when I'm talking about her. So you take the buzzsaw. Because your option is no one hears about you. At least now we're talking about you. And those are two crappy options. But your option is no one hears about you, buzzsaw. That's what you got. Yeah. You take buzzsaw. So yes. Adrian says, I heard she, thank you for being a member, by the way, Adrian. I heard she gained a lot of supporters from the Muslim population after that Breakfast Club interview. She did. Look, again, I'm not going to support Joe Stein, but I can still respect the game and respect her and what she's doing. She was very savvy. She picked a Muslim as her running mate who was a great speaker. That man can speak. He's no chump. The guy can talk the talk. He's a Muslim, good-looking man, talks the talk. Right next to her, beautiful look. And yes, after people saw him, they're like, yep, he's in. If I'm not mistaken, in the Muslim vote now in many places, it's 50-50. Jill Stein and Harris. In fact, Harris has sent Waltz into like Wisconsin and Michigan trying to get the Muslims back. That's true. You're totally right, Adrian. And that's why they're trying to attack her, right? Trump is taking far too big of the black vote. If I remember right, if I remember the numbers from Biden was like plus 80, plus 90 on the black vote in 2020. She's like plus 65, plus 70. That's massive. That is massive. And now the Muslim vote, I mean, it was not, I mean, Trump did not do well in the Muslim vote at all in 2020. 2024, he's still not doing great at all. He's not doing great. But now that big chunk that she's getting is now going to Harris. I'm sorry, it's going to Stein. So the Democrats are playing defense. They're playing offense in this to get rid of these people. So yeah, that's the hope. If you can make Jill Stein crazy, then we hope that for them that will happen. So yes. All righty. I do. You know what? There are a lot of the guys saying something. I want to grab a couple of these here. All right. I'm glad you guys are chatting so much. A lot of good stuff's happening. All right. Last one I'll bring up here if I could. Jennifer says, Trump can get black men. Well, I would say this, particularly young black men. That's true. Absolutely is getting young black men. 100% true. That's absolutely happening. You see it. About 30%, something like that. He's definitely getting a lot. It's absolutely true. Guys, I want to ask you one more time if I could. Please click the button that is like. Every single click does matter. I bug you all the time because it does matter. If you haven't shared it, please share it. If you can subscribe on YouTube, if you happen to be watching YouTube, please subscribe. Click that bell for notification. Thank you guys for someone in the super chats. I appreciate it. When you become a member, supposed to be, as you see, I try to grab members comments the best of my ability. They go to the front, the best of my ability if you can. Become a member. Click that join button on Larry Sharpe YouTube. It's $5 per month. Keeps me doing this. Keeps everything rocking and rolling to the best of my ability. I do appreciate it. I will be on twice tomorrow. Twice tomorrow. Oh, before I'm grab this. I'm sorry. Thank you so much, Mike, for this. Biden had 87% of the black vote in 2020. Harris says nowhere near that. He's correct. Mike is correct. I knew it was between 80 and 90. 87% average makes sense. That's right what I was thinking. Harris is somewhere between 65 and 70. Something like that. Nowhere near. Is absolutely correct. I do appreciate that. Yes. Chef for president. Thank you, Joseph. I appreciate that. Yes. Thank you, Jennifer. Thank you. Yes, absolutely. Yes, 100%. All right. So look, last person I want to bring up. I'll be on twice tomorrow. Right. Oh my God. Another super chat. Let me do a super chat real fast, guys. I'm sorry, real fast. Ryan Murphy, thank you for $5. If Harris gets 7% of black vote in November, she will lose by a very good. Yes. Yes. I'm okay. The black vote, while it's only about 10%, give or take, of the electorate, is still a big chunk when it comes to the 1-2%. And it's an assumed piece. It's assumed that you're a Democrat, you get the black vote. That's the assumption. What are you doing? Of course you do. You get 90%, right? When you're in trouble, you get 85%. When you're in trouble, you get 85%. Oh my God. No, that's no longer true. Harris might get 65, 70% of the black vote. That's that chunk, that 1%. This election could absolutely be taken care of and won with 1% of the vote on the margins. The Muslim vote, this used to be guaranteed Democrats, guaranteed. You get maybe 10% of Muslim if you're Republican. Still kind of true, but there's more, but still kind of true. The other part, though, is there's usually not a Jill Stein who could take half of that vote. Half of that Muslim vote gone. 30% of the black vote gone. The Democrats will have to make it up on women. It's just true. They'll have to make it. If they can't make it up on women, they can't win this thing. They have to make it up on women. They have to make it up on young women and older women. They have to make it up on those two. If they can win this thing. If not, I don't see them winning it. That's going to be very tough. All right. I will be on tomorrow at 3 p.m. with Mike, Old Man Voss, VASS. YouTube talking about sci-fi villains, and I'll be on again at 7 or 8, depending on how late Mike keeps me. I'll be on then if I can. I'll be on tomorrow night, probably around 7. I'll do an AMA. I'll take all your questions, all stuff you're talking about. Please, one more thing. When this is over, please come back. You know who we have to keep happy? Mr. Rhythm, Al Gore. Rhythm, keep him happy. He loves when afterwards you come back and put a comment. I'll respond. I will see you all very soon.